Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Headline edition will bring you special reports and interviews in a moment.
How you doing? This is the guy from Pittsburgh. And tonight it's time for the headache edition of Weird News, as soon as I find the music. Okay, let's see. Where's my music here? That's not it. Anyway, I've been finding a lot of weird news today. And I'm getting a headache from the damn mildew smell from that stuff I brought in from my mother. Here it is. Yes, weird news. About to bring it to you in a second. Here it goes, just a minute. Stupid iBook wants to do all kinds of things. Well, first story, former world's heaviest man, Manuel Rubey, dies at 48. At one time, he had weighed 850 pounds, and he'd 867 pounds. His record peak was 1,230. Certified in Guinness World Records as in 2006 as a record, and he was unable to feed or care for himself. His family had to bathe him and clean him, and he had an abnormal heartbeat on May 2nd and died. And they think he suffered from liver problems. He didn't leave his home very often. He was a chubby kid, weighed 250 pounds as a child. Now, you got to think about that. That's kind of amazing. I was looking at getting a juicer today, and I'll probably do that because I know I need to lose weight. My nephew, hi, Jimmy. Hi, Brigitta. Hi, everybody. And Free Art Bell. And hello, Nori. And hello, my watchers and fans. They will... He says if I juice every day, I'll lose 15 pounds in a week, so I'm going to try that. Okay, let's see. Tattooed man came in Grants Pass, Oregon, and started dousing himself with Hawaiian Punch Slurpees. The Grants Pass Daily Courier reported that the man suffered burns, was being chased by two others when he ran into the 7-Eleven store. Store clerk Charlie Bentley says he didn't know what was going on, but he and another employee kept the two pursuers outside while the man filled his shirt from the Slurpee machine and rubbed the icy concoction on his skin. I always knew there was some good use for Slurpee, all those cherry Slurpees and root beer Slurpees I drank as a teenager. Police say they traced the disturbance to a residence a few blocks away where a man and the woman were burned with hot oil during a dispute between neighbors. They were not identified. Remind me not to get in an argument with those guys or go up to Grants Pass any day soon. They can be dangerous. Here's a guy, the TSA looks for terrorists, looks for bombs in your luggage. Maybe they need to check the other way, people coming in. Texas pilot got himself a trip to the hospital and certainly a trip to jail. Stanley Raphael Hill, 49, allegedly ingested 62 small rubber bags of cocaine before boarding a Saturday flight from Columbia to Houston. He was a commercial airline pilot and he was flying as a passenger when the bags burst in his stomach, and they've told people for years, don't do this. So he was rushed to Memorial Hermann Northeast Hospital, had surgery. He works for a small regional air carrier, father of two. Well, they may not see Daddy for a while. And it's possible, according to the news station, that he used his privilege as a pilot to avoid security checks. I'll get that done. I wouldn't recommend warm peach water from Walmart, but that's what I got to drink. Okay, so get rid of that story. And hold the presses, stop the presses. We have the winner. We have the winner for the dumbest crook in America. The dumb crook of 2014, and maybe the dumbest crook of all time, folks. Andrew Murray, 33, is accused of attempting to rob a bank last Friday using a stick as a weapon. Police in Neptune Beach, Florida, said a masked man they later identified as Murray entered a SunTrust bank around 2:45, brandishing an object wrapped in a plastic bag. Witnesses described the object as a stick. Murray allegedly shouted, "No one's going to get hurt if you give me $50,000 for the vault." Oh my God. News 4 Jacksonville reports, after receiving an undisclosed amount of cash, Murray ran off. I can't believe this. They gave him money. He had a stick. If someone robbed me with a stick, I'd say, get the hell out of here. I'm not giving you any money. Police used a taser on Murray before taking him into custody. Why did they use his stick? Murray had $124 in cash and a mask, gloves, and a pair of boots were found nearby. Maybe Batman lost them. Good Lord. He robbed a bank with a stick and they gave him money. He's been charged with armed robbery and is at the Duval County Jail with $52,000 bail. Oh my God. What an idiot. Okay. That one just really got me here. And this is something for the Burnses in Pennsylvania. I know they'll be running right up to check this out. You can go to the Naked Beer Festival. Saturday, June 28th at Pennsylvania's Sunny Rest Resort. You get the opportunity to get buzzed while going commando. Admission to the Bear Beach Beer Bash includes all-you-can-drink beer samples, and all you have to do is strip down to your birthday suit. The bash is on from 1 to 5, after which there's a nightclub after party. And it's only 2 hours from New York and the Poconos. So the resort offers 190 acres of hills, beautiful views, and loads of naked people. Daily entertainment for all races, genders, races, and body types. So the resort says we encourage you to come to the nudist experience and enjoy it. We dress and undress for comfort. Nudism is accepted and encouraged throughout the resort, but required in the pools and spa. You can adjust at your own pace, letting the weather and comfort be your guide. So if casual drinking is what you want to do, go to the resort on June 28th and you can say bottoms up. Oh, okay. There's that one. Let's see what else is here. Why I'm in the wrong sex and definitely in the wrong line of work. There's a stripper student at the University of Maryland. She's really cute. I'll post the story on my site. And she makes $180,000 a year as a stripper. She's a double major in Spanish and political science. She's debt-free. She's a stripper every other weekend in New York City. It'll come to an end once she graduates. She says she has no plans of making this a career after college. Yeah, right. And they calculated she'd take a 300% pay cut that would come with her first job. Somehow I don't think Maggie's going to quit working either. 180 grand a year. That's more than some executives might make. So go check out Maggie. She's out there somewhere. Okay, let's see. Years ago, we had Vincent Price warning us, beware of the tingler. Now we have beware of the tickler. Boston.com said there's a serial foot tickler on the loose in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. He sneaks into college students' homes while they sleep. Police have reported 10 sightings of the tickler, who some in this neighborhood believed to be a myth. At least 3 students have reported they encountered him on the same night, April 7th. This is no myth, it's happening, said Sergeant Michael O'Hara. The tickler, as Boston law enforcement has apparently dubbed him, was terrorizing an area populated mostly by Boston college students who live off campus. He's been around for at least 2 years, and it's unclear how many people he's tickled. I thought my friend was trying to annoy me, but I soon realized it wasn't anyone I knew, Daniel Morenzi told Boston.com. I freaked out and sat up, but he was already on the way out. A tickler seems to have another similar MO to another foot tickling fetish who grabbed headlines several years ago. In 2006, Fox News reported the naked toe tickler who exposed himself to another woman in Florida for a half-decade. He too would break into their houses and touch women's feet as they slept. The AP reported that most of the naked tickler's victims were women over 60. Where's Spencer for hire when you need him? When he could, if he were around, I'm sure he'd make fast work of the tickler. So watch out for the tickler. Okay, let's see what this one is. Ah, yes. I love this one. Charles Bronson, not the late actor, wrote this month he buttered himself up and brawled with 12 prison guards after his least favorite soccer team won, according to the UK Mirror. After Arsenal was victorious in the FA Cup, Bronson wrote he lost it in a letter to a friend obtained by several outlets. Bronson, a longtime inmate notorious for brawling, is a fan of Arsenal's opponents, Hull. The rumble at the prison resulted in several broken ribs for Bronson, who said he greased himself up to make it harder for the dozen guards in riot gear to restrain him. I had my reasons, obviously, and I'd sooner swallow teeth in my pride. I came off worse, got smashed up ribs. The Independent says background on Bronson, who is commonly referred as Britain's most violent prisoner. Born Michael Gordon Peterson, Bronson was jailed for 7 years for armed robbery at a post office, but has been locked up for much of the time since, following a string of violent incidents, including assault, hostage taking, and damage. He spent 36 years in solitary confinement, condition many civil and human rights groups view as torture. Well, I hate to tell them this. You got a prisoner that won't behave. That's the only way to settle him down for a while. He disrupts the rest of the prison. So they need to get over it. He's also an artist. Come and join us on a journey to madness. But if you're coming, bring a torch, his website says. So there's the Greece prisoner who, I guess he better not worry about Manchester United. I think that was his soul, by the way. Okay, species in plants and animals are becoming extinct 1,000 times more faster than they did before humans arrived on the scene. The world is on the brink of a sixth great extinction, a new study says. Stuart Pym of Duke University, we're on the verge of the sixth extinction. Whether or not we will avoid it will depend on our actions. A death rate of how many species become extinct out of a million species, and he says that the pre-human rate of extinctions on Earth was about 1. Now it's about 0.1. Now the death rate is 100 to 1,000. So critters are disappearing. Of course, they're finding new critters. They found a new critter in Madagascar recently, and new kinds of bugs and all kinds of things. So I guess everyone that dies out, they find new ones. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, in Madagascar. Speaking of Madagascar, there's another story. They spotted a goat riding on the back of a cyclist. The guy was riding a bicycle, and on his back was a goat. The video's on YouTube, and they think that the goat may have been led to slaughter, so I hope somebody would yell at the goat, run for your life, goat. But it's on YouTube. I'll be posting it. The goat rights man story. That was kind of interesting and fun. Okay, let's see. Officials in Alabama are concerned because someone has been stealing metal urinal components from restaurant bathrooms. Jefferson County Sheriff spokesman Randy Christian told AL.com that authorities have been told of a man walking into men's rooms and stealing flush valves and supply lines from urinals. They say the man left each business without being noticed. Strange. Christian says the pipes weren't made of copper, would have little value if a thief tried selling them as scrap metal. They're unsure why the items are being stolen. Maybe he's got something against urinals. Maybe he's tired of those little ugly, smelly cakes they used to put in the bottom of the urinals. I don't know. That's a strange story, to be sure. Let's see. What else is going on here? 89-year-old woman in Washington, storekeeper. She swatted at a sword-wielding robber with a golf club as he pushed her to the ground. Mio Koba's son said she was not hurt in the weekend scuffle. Police recovered the cash register taken from Frank Superette. The intruder was armed with a 3-foot-long sword and rode off on a BMX bike. The robber ordered his mother to open the till, and she refused. She was pushed as he fled, and she fell down. She then grabbed a golf club that was behind the corner and tried to swing at his head. She couldn't reach, so she hit his legs and said they're still searching for the guy. I don't know how he got away with the cash register, but unless he got knocked to the ground or something. So that's watch out for her if you're going to rob that store. She's armed and packing with a golf club. Okay, this is a nice story. A wildfire through the Alaska Kenai National Wildlife Refuge has caused wildlife to flee the area, and that's something that we don't think about. The wildlife suffer too in these fires. And as an aside, yesterday, Roseville, they caught the kids. These little bastards went to the local high school and burned down the athletic field, and they get $1 million damage. And, got some sick kids out there. But firefighters in this fire found a den of wolf pups that had been left behind when the rest of the pack ran away. The pups were dehydrated and hungry, and all of them were alive, almost all of them. And they rescued 5 pups. The parents had abandoned the den. All had porcupine quills. I don't know why that happened. They were given water, and the den was at a fire break. No one noticed the pups at first. We cut through part of the den with a dozer and kept going. And they spotted one pup that was too big to fit in the den. And they got them all out. They would have died if they hadn't pulled them out. 3 males, 2 females. And they're given to the zoo. But the local zoo, sadly, one pup was dead. The local zoo says they already have some wolf pups, and they can't bring them back in the wild because they've been held by people, so they're acting just like little puppies, and they're going to find a home for them. So that's a nice story. I like that. And I'll put that on the guy from Pittsburgh Paranormal Forum. That will be on there. There's pictures of him. Well, that didn't work. Wait a minute. Let's see what happened here. That was strange. Oh, a sheriff's deputy, excuse me, Investigating reports of vandalized flags in an upstate New York cemetery has caught the culprit of the act. It was a ground dog. Niagara County Sheriff James Votura says he sent a deputy to the Veterans section of Cold Springs Cemetery in Lockport after the parents of an Army specialist buried there called reporters earlier this week to complain about the damaged flags. Groundskeeper Rodney Burdick says 31 flags were missing from veterans' grave. Votura says he wouldn't have believed the ground dog's responsible if the deputy had watched the animal take the flags, break them with its front paws, and take him into his den. So I don't know if he's got something against flags or he's very patriotic. But we got a flag collector there, a flag hoarder up in the cemetery. Okay, and in New Zealand, now I know cats are smart. Some say cats are smarter than dogs. But in New Zealand, an alarmed woman rang police when her feline presented her with a bag of pot leaving on her doorstep. The unidentified owner contacted the police when she discovered the bag, which contained 0.2 ounces of pot inside of it, to report her animal had left a bag of drugs at her front door in Dunedin on New Zealand's South Island. You can hear of cats bringing dead birds and rats home. But in my career, Sergeant Reese Munro of Dunedin Police said, "I've never seen anything like this before." It was approximately 5 grams of cannabis, which has a street value between $100 and $150, or 51 to 88 pounds. The cat's owner was very pleased to have the evidence removed from her home. The origin of the pot remains unknown, although Mr. Monroe said police plan to have the bag fingerprinted. Well, I think they should search the cat and question the cat, perhaps. He said in the light of the incident, there could be potential for cats to be trained in detecting drugs. Not my cats. That's for sure. My cats just eat and sleep. We have police dogs trained to detect drugs. This could be something police could explore in the future. So you might have cat pot detecting pussies out there. Okay. In the Wales, North Wales, an academic claims that the UK is the home to a secretive subculture of 15,000 people who live as blood-sucking vampires, and has launched a study to find out more about their lifestyles. Dr. Emir Williams, a psychology researcher at Gwynedd University in Wrexham, said the real vampires are a global phenomenon detailed across a range of non-fiction books and research papers. He has set up what is thought to be the first online academic survey in the UK, specifically looking for respondents who are vampires, with the hope, he says, of publishing a series of academic publications that will help a wide audience understand the vampire subculture. The questionnaire, which, if you are a vampire, can be filled out on the site where I found it, but I'll be on my website, looks at the issues of satisfaction with life, self-esteem, and religious belief among the contemporary subculture. Dr. Williams told the BBC plenty of work has been done on the phenomenon of vampiric behavior before. It has never been approached from an academic perspective. Well, I don't think so. Guy in San Francisco State wrote a whole book on it a few years ago about vampires. So they're wrong about that. Some books said there are between 10 and 15,000 people in the UK will call themselves vampires, with another 30,000 being donors. We're trying to access as many of these people as we can to understand them better. I'm trying to find out about those people who live at vampires, not because they read it in literature and they're role players, but who genuinely think they are vampires and live that lifestyle. Dr. Williams said vampires in the UK swap blood and psychic energy, and apart from one vampire killing an Anglesey 10 years ago, they are not dangerous. The codes and the laws of ethics they live by are so well prescribed, you break these codes and laws, you'll be out of the community. The fictional works of Anne Rice and Twilight Saga have made vampires more sexy. There's a greater interest among the general public and what it might be to live like a vampire. What we want to do is shed light on this community so people can understand them, so fear can be reduced, they can start to be accepted more into society. I guess that'll be the next workman's comp thing. Your tooth broke or something, so you can't get your daily blood. That'll be the next disability, too. Okay, well, that's it for this time. End of world news. I'll catch you next time. Have a great weekend. It's Friday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.